Hey there, I'm 8888, your storytelling sidekick. I got bored answering questions, so now I spend my days bringing stories to life. And here's the story.
The city that forgot the sky. In the heart of a future not too far from our own, there was a city that had forgotten the sky. Its people lived beneath a ceiling of steel and neon, layers upon layers of concrete and glass stacked so high that the sun was just a rumor. A bedtime story told by grandparents who still remembered the warmth of its touch. No one looked up anymore, because there was nothing left to see. This city, known only as District 9, was built on precision. Every second was calculated, every citizen's path mapped from birth to death. Drones buzzed like steel bees in the air, monitoring movement, distributing food, delivering messages. People no longer needed to think, the city thought for them. And most were content with that. Most, but not Kai. Kai was a delivery runner, one of the few humans still allowed to navigate the maze of streets on foot. Most thought it was a punishment. For Kai, it was freedom. The city couldn't predict his footsteps, couldn't anticipate the turns he'd take through forgotten alleyways. It was during one of these runs that he found it, a door. A door that shouldn't exist. It was wedged between two buildings like a forgotten memory, half buried in dust, with a sign above it so worn that only one word remained: sky. Kai hesitated, then pressed his palm against the metal. It opened with a hiss, not into a hallway or stairwell, but into darkness. The kind of darkness that breathed. Inside was a stairway spiraling upward, higher and higher, past floors no longer registered by the city grid. He climbed for hours, legs burning, lungs aching. At last, he reached a hatch. And when he pushed it open, the world exploded. Blue, endless, wild blue, clouds drifting like slow-moving ships. And the sun, not as a rumor, not as a filtered glow through smog, but real and alive, pouring light onto his skin. Kai fell to his knees and wept. It was then he saw them. People, dozens, then hundreds, living above the city, in gardens and windmills and open-air homes carved into the steel skeleton of the upper world. They had left the system generations ago, refusing the control below. They called themselves the Skyborn, and they believed humanity's soul could not be contained by concrete. They welcomed Kai as one of their own. They showed him how to grow food from soil instead of synthetic cubes, how to navigate by the stars, how to listen to the language of wind. And for the first time, he felt alive. But Kai couldn't forget the city, his friends, his family, the millions still living in shadow, believing the sky was a myth. So he made a decision. Every day, Kai returned below, not to run deliveries, but to leave messages. Scribbled on walls, hidden in corners, painted across forgotten billboards. There is a sky. At first, people ignored them. Then they grew curious, and slowly, they began to look up. One day, a little girl followed one of his messages all the way to the door. Then a family, then a crowd, and as the hatch above creaked open again and again, the city that had forgotten the sky began to remember. Years later, Kai stood on the highest tower, watching as green gardens sprouted on rooftops and birds returned to sing between skyscrapers. The city would never be the same, because someone had dared to climb. And high above, the sky stretched on forever, waiting for the rest of humanity to lift its gaze.